you like some Fed taper? Oh, you got the taper, not just on paper. The stock market's going to be on fire. The bond market that used to be the envy, the desire of the world, is now going to crash. And it's because of what the Fed is currently doing. You know, the United States government thinks that they're Ronaldo. You see Ronaldo? You know the soccer player, football player Ronaldo? They think that they're Ronaldo with 20 seconds left. And they're just going in for the win. But in reality, they're this kid from the Big Green. You remember the 1990s cult classic, The Big Green? That's the federal government. They have no idea what they're doing. They brought cryptocurrency into this facade. The federal government has pumped in $4 trillion in an unprecedented stock market prop up, and now it's going to come tumbling down. What can you do about this? How can you shield yourself? Because this is going to get interesting over the next year. You're going to start to feel the pain in the next 60 days. Welcome. Merry Christmas. Your 401k is getting cut in half. Happy holidays. Your IRA. If you're over 50, I hope you plan on working till you're 97. Today, in Operation Save Crypto, save the stock market, save the bond market, save the Fed, save the United States, save every free nation in the entire world. Operation Economics? The fact is the federal government has been buying over $120 billion in bonds monthly, $4 trillion, unprecedented, puts their balance sheet at over $8.5 trillion. Because they're propping up the stock market. You notice how the stock market stayed in that positive, that world record area, but it hasn't really moved? It's because people and companies don't believe in the stock market and they don't have any money to actually invest. And they are currently tapering this stuff because what are they supposed to do? People don't have any money and they're suppressing the stimulus, right? You got all the people on one side who thought that the government was going to give them monthly checks, UBI. Everyone thought that Biden was going to give them UBI. By everyone, I'm talking like the socialists and things like that. That obviously didn't happen. Biden has done nothing he said he was going to do. Biden is an embarrassment to humanity. Let's be honest. You guys, if you're out of the United States, you're going to take some credit for Biden too because he's a human, right? He's a human, so it's not all us, it's you too, right? I'm stretching here. I'm reaching here. Help me out. So Biden is a disgrace to humanity. And this isn't a politic thing. Look at the guy. You got to be kidding. And now their master plan is to unprop the stock market. They propped it. It's like the one thing that he hasn't wrecked. Everything he has touched has turned to a pile of rubble. And that's not a shot at, well, I'm not even going to go there. Never mind. But everything Biden has touched has turned to rubble. And now the one thing he hasn't crashed is the financial market. And now he's like, you know what? We got super inflation. It's time to make sure these people really have no money to pay for anything. I've talked about this last couple days, guys. I'm going to talk about it one more time because I'm getting so many emails. I will be caught up today. If you haven't already, check out the first link down below. I'm going to teach you guys a lot about how to not let this affect you, no matter where you are in the world. We're going to be talking and breaking down a lot of stuff here on Privacy X over the next couple of months, so stay tuned. We're putting out daily videos. My commitment is to do daily videos every day until the end of 2021. I'd appreciate if you guys check back to the channel every day because the subscribe button just doesn't seem to work. I think my subscribe button fell off. So if you could check back, whether you're on Odyssey or whether you're on YouTube on a daily basis, I will be putting up daily videos unless they, try to ban my account or like give me a strike so I can't post for a week, which has happened in the past for no reason. But other than that, barring those things, I'll be posting every day for the rest of the year. So check back on a daily basis. If you want to learn how to build a business, we're going to break that down. If you want to learn how to be private and live a ghost lifestyle, ghost business, ghost life, we break that down. Go check out privacyxproject.com. The privacyx.org platform is coming because I can't trust these social media sites. So we're going to build our own interactive platform talking about crypto, talking about ghost business, talking about becoming a ghost. That's privacyx.org. That is going to be launching next month. Been talking about that. Been working on that for the last year. And then the biggest question I get is, how do I get a business now? First link down below, get your business right now. Get it going right now. A lot of people have been asking a lot of questions. Like I said, I've gotten a couple hundred emails the last couple days. I've been trying to answer all of them personally. I haven't pawned that off of my team. But if you want to get a business going right now, especially if you're invested in the market, especially if you're over 50 and you think the market's going to crash, especially if you've never had a business before, you can get a business going right now and get out of this rat race that is going to destroy you. So check out the first link down below. Anyway, let's get into what's happening right now. There's a massive push to widen the gap between rich and poor. They're going to wipe out the middle class. They're going to try to get you on $1,000 a month UBI, which is going to do nothing for nobody because the massive inflation. And so what the administration has been looking into is if they give out UBI, let's say they give each person $1,000 a month, two people gets $2,000 a month. In the United States market, $2,000 a month barely gets you like a one-bedroom apartment in most of these cities. And that's if you add like electric and water, you get like and you have no car, no insurance, no phone, no food. You sit there in your one-bedroom apartment and starve to death. So they're like, well, what do we need to do? We need to crash the market. Now, I don't think they're intentionally crashing the market because that's going to make the administration look dumber than they already are, which is almost impossible, but they'll figure it out. So what they're trying to do is ease things, kind of like they're trying to let a little air out. What they never seem to learn in the United States is you cannot let any air out of the market. It's not a balloon. So what they do, imagine a balloon, and imagine I had a balloon that's this big. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to reduce this balloon by 12%. So I got a balloon this big, I want to make it like this big, right? That's what they want to do right now. Imagine my big red balloon, and it's this big, and I want to make it this big. The problem with the U.S. financial markets is it is full sheer panic. So if you go from here to here, it's like when you let the balloon out of your hands, it goes, and it just goes, and it just blows up in your face, right? So you can never do that. It's not possible. They've tried that 100 times in the U.S. It's either massive inflated or it pops and it just falls apart. We've seen that multiple times in this country. So what are they going to be able to do? Well, they're trying to suppress markets because they need house prices to be cut in half. So if they crash the market, if they stop putting the sentiment in the stock market, what's going to happen is when they do the tapering, interest rates are going to go up. When interest rates goes up, it shuts down borrowing. Okay, it doesn't shut it down, but it shuts it down for most companies and people because it's too expensive. You can't borrow. What they're trying to do with the unrealized capital gains, they're going to start with people over 400 grand, and then they're going to lower it to people over 24,000 a year. So meaning like if you're in the crypto market or any other market, if you made money on your crypto this year, it's not property where you get to tax it when you sell. You have to pay capital gains every year, which would make the crypto market pretty much worthless, right? Because you have to literally sell crypto to pay your capital gains. And a lot of people are like, that's only for billionaires. No, that's how they sell it. But if you read the fine print, it's basically, unless you make under 24 grand a year, it's going to ultimately affect you over the next 4-year rollout, starting this year. So it really doesn't matter. And so if you look at unrealized capital gains, we also got the thing in your bank transactions where they're like, well, we're going to do 600. They just pulled back. They're not going to do the 600. What they're going to do is they're going to track you, stalk you. They're going to catalog everything you do. They're going to audit your bank account day and night, provided you spend more than $10,000, but your paycheck doesn't count. What kind of small child has $834? Basically, if you spend more than $834, you're going to have your own personal team of IRS agents tracking everything you do. Well, what this is going to do is this is going to stock and catalog every crypto because all of the crypto exchanges are going to have to start moving to a new transparent platform. And so your on-ramp from your bank account to your exchange will be marked by the IRS. As soon as you do that, you're going to owe taxes. They're going to have a tracking system to track your crypto, and they're going to say, hey, you moved in $500 into Coinbase or to Gate.io, some offshore platform, into Crypto.com, into Gemini, into any of these different platforms. We need that tax money at the end of the year. And then you're going to have to break down all your trades. It's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare for crypto. And borrowing against crypto is going to be wiped out because a lot of people say, well, I'll never sell my crypto. I'll just borrow against it. Famously, the Winklevoss, these dorks, said, I'll just borrow against my Bitcoin. Well, now they're somewhere whining in New York because with this new thing, you can borrow against your Bitcoin, but you're still going to have to pay capital gains in the year. The Winklevoss had a master plan that they're never going to sell Bitcoin. They're going to borrow against it. Well, now that master plan blew up in their face because every year Janet Yellen's going to be saying, give me the cash, sell Bitcoin to give me that cash. So you're going to have to sell assets. And we've seen this with big companies. These big companies are going to have to sell stock to pay capital gains because everyone's like, oh, Elon Musk has 200. Elon Musk doesn't have 280 billion. It is stock. This is what people don't get. It's not money. It's not like he has 200. And they're talking about these companies. The CEOs have X amount of stock. If they sell the stock price puts it on shaky ground. And also, they'll potentially have to fire people and taper hiring people and taper innovation, all to pay unrealized capital gains. This ties in with the Fed's tapering program, which ties in with the new crypto tracking program, which ties into the new crypto tax program, which ties into the unrealized capital gains program, which ties into the track 100% of Americans provided you have more than $834. Who has less than $834 in expenses? I mean, my daughter, but she's 14. My other daughter, but she's 11. My other two kids, but there's two. Oh, is she 11 or 12? I don't know. I should know how old my own kids are. She's 11. My other two kids, but they're still single digits, right? They might be the only people I know who have less than $834 a month in expenses. Expenses. So what are we doing here? Well, I don't know. Do you know? All right, I could rant about this forever, but this is the program that's currently happening. And then this all ties into the central bank. So it's going to be a central bank digital currency. What I recommend now, and this is not financial advice, but I recommend you start a business and start investing every penny you can into gold, silver, and crypto, period. The real estate market will crash. If you're in real estate, if you own a house and you can sell it, sell it. Sell it. Timestamp this video, cut it, and put it out. Every person who's successful is telling you to sell your house right now because your house, if your house is worth 450 grand, I guarantee in the next year, your house is probably going to be worth $225. Now, if you own your house outright, I guess that's fine. You're going to take a big loss, but it's fine. But if you've got like a mortgage on like a $500,000 or a $350,000 house, pretty soon you're going to be paying that mortgage on a house that's worth $225. Just like in '08, everyone said it wasn't possible in '08, and there was houses nationwide. I talked about this in a recent video. Nationwide that were worth 200 grand that used to be worth 500 grand. It's going to happen worse this time because it's not just the real estate market, stock market, also the bond market, and it's the entire fundamental fabric of the tax structure in the United States, and it's the confidence in the United States. They can't even get the debt ceiling right. You think they're going to get this stuff right? So if I was you, I would be doing what I'm doing, and what I'm doing, and this is just what I'm doing, you do whatever you want to do, is I would be running my business and pouring every dollar into gold, silver, and crypto, which is what I recommend. If you don't have a business, check out the first link down below. We'll get you a business right now. Let's get rolling because this is your one shot, your one opportunity, your one chance to not get crushed by this. There will be no UBI. There's not the money. They can't even pass these social safety nets. You think they're going to pass any of that crap? And now after what we've seen last night, the Republicans are getting slaughtered on the socialist battlefield. And so people are like, well, they're going to get slaughtered. And then they win Virginia, which I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I think the two-party system's a joke. But the socialists have had their moment. They're going to get crippled, and you're going to be left holding the bag with the crappy economy, overinflated mortgage that you can't pay, record high car payments, record high gas, record high energy. All for what? For what? You're going to lose your job. Everyone's going to lose their job in this market, especially when the stock market crashes. You're going to see Google coders living on the street because there's no, what are you going to do? They cannot afford. There's no replacing these jobs. We've let this bubble get too big. This bubble's been growing for over a dozen years. It has gotten too big. I would invest every penny into your business and into your mind so you can build a business, and then I would invest every other penny into gold, silver, and crypto. That's what I'm doing 100%. Cash is trash. It's garbage. It's no more valuable than this playing card. And the stock market's a joke. If you have an IRA or a 401k, I would talk to your accountant about getting your money the hell out of there because you're going to lose it all. Anyway, that's what I have to say on this. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you think this is going to shake out. There's going to be a lot of regulation against crypto, but at least in the short term, we can combat it with a store of value because crypto is 10xing inflation. And that's the most valuable thing with crypto right now is we're able to stay well above inflation. And that's the most important thing. Same thing with gold and silver. Gold and silver is actually losing to inflation, but it is a long-term store of value. And the good thing about the gold and silver is as soon as the dollar goes like this, gold and silver always goes like this. So that's why gold and silver is such a valuable asset for the dollar collapse, where crypto is a valuable asset for inflation. So that's why I recommend a combo of the two. Right now, I'm about 60-40 60 being crypto, 40 being gold and silver. Any real estate, I would recommend you hold on to or you sell, but I would get out of the real estate market because it's going to blow up in your face. And stock market's an absolute clown show. Absolute clown show. And the government is getting ready to let the air out. Most of the reason the stock market has held the last year is 100% because the government injected $4 trillion. Now that they're stopping that and they're raising the rates, it's going to collapse. What is the Dow at? 35, 36? Wait for the Dow to hit 20, and then let's talk. And it's going to happen fast, and you're going to lose everything. Wait for the S&P to fall off a cliff. Then what about all those bonds that were backing all these pensions and all these retirement funds? You're going to see the average American work until he or she is 97, i.e. drops dead on the factory floor or in the cubicle or wherever people work. So appreciate you checking this out. Go on in everything you do. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.